Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, July 31st. Welcome. I hope y'all have had a good month. Yes, it's been a month again, but that wasn't my intention. But you know what they say about good intentions. So, anyway, it has been busy around here. And sometimes when there are a bunch of things going on at the same time, it's just completely overwhelming. Um, we've had our driveway redone. Um, it's caliche. And one of our clients, Kevin, he's a fireman, but on the side he does this kind of work, and he's came out here and he did it before and it lasted years, and wasn't even really bad, but he had the time, so he came out to fix any ruts that were in it. And right now, even though it's made up of rocks and dirt and clay, it's like driving on glass. It's fantastic. He does such a good job. I can't even say enough good about it. But having all of that going on with other everyday life, and unfortunately that wasn't the only thing going on, so it just sometimes we just get overwhelmed. I keep telling Dax I can only handle one thing at a time. I don't know if I said in my last video that our hot water heater was leaking, and then it kind of quit to where it was, like 4 drops a day. So other things that needed to be handled got put in front of it. Well, yesterday when I came out here, I noticed it was leaking faster. It's not terrible, but we're going to have to call somebody. Dax didn't know. He was at the office working yesterday, and I hadn't said anything about it because, lucky me, I have a jury summons for tomorrow, and I knew, okay, I can't call and schedule anything for tomorrow, but I need to see what's going to happen with jury duty to see how this is going to work, to schedule somebody to come out here and fix it. And he just discovered that right before I started recording that it's leaking, and I said, don't make it worse. And so he got up there at the top of it, that's where it's leaking from, and for where the water's coming in, it's leaking. And he got up there and messed with it a little bit, and now he's made it worse. So I still don't think we're at emergency level yet, but now I've got to keep an eye on it again. It had actually slowed down today, but now it's back up to not as slow as it was. So thanks, babe, for your help. I have been stitching. I have, even though it has been very busy and crazy around here. And I know you're here for the stitching. That's what we'll look at. And you know me, I'll talk about the other crap that goes on around here as we go. So, let's see. Brooks Books, Animal Advent. Overall, here we are. And I really need to get 1.5 squares done every month in order to finish this by the end of the year. That is what I'm trying to do, 1.5 squares. This one I should have finished. I need this one finished today to be keeping up. I was doing really good, and I was ahead of the game. I was about 1/2 square ahead, but I was missing some colors in this one, and I didn't realize it. And so I lost a few days of stitching on it. So there we are. Now I'm struggling to make sure I don't get behind, but I don't want to get behind. This is on my list of 20 for 2022. I really want to get this one finished. I mean, I can see a light at the end of the tunnel if I can keep up. I was doing really well. So anyway, there we are. This one, these little white spots, I'm going to put some beads in there to kind of dress it up, that square. On this one, you can't tell, I don't think. On that crown, I used Krynic to make it kind of sparkly. I think it was Krynic. I may have used, oh, you know what? I bet I used Satan's pubic hair that Colbin sent me. I don't know why I do that to myself. But it's sparkly. It is sparkly. Okay. And I worked on Wyatt's stocking. Also on my list of 20 and 20, this is Come Hell or High Water. I want this one finished this year. I've been using it for the 25/7, at least 25 stitches every day. I hope you're sitting down because you're not going to believe this. Look at how much I've gotten done. Since the last time I have finished up the house, I've made the turn. Let me fold it a little bit. Here down at the toe, we're coming back up. So I filled in, I got all of the snow on the house, and the bricks are done, and the eaves and the snow and everything. And I've actually, as you can see, started working on the reindeer. I keep wanting to call it a moose, and it's not. I don't remember the story of the sleigh being pulled by the, as my father would call them, meese. He used to always say, if the plural of goose is geese, shouldn't the plural of moose be meese? So there you go. But Santa doesn't have meese. Okay, now that I've told you about Mom and Dad, they say hi. That should help explain to you a lot about why I am like I am. If this didn't let you know already, Dax, even we've been married for 26 years. In September it'll be 27. We were together for years before that. We were pushing 30 years together, and even still he says that the more time he spends around my parents, the more it explains me. So there you go. This is Abigail's stocking. It's a dimensions kit. If you're new here, you'll notice that Wyatt's stocking is a dimensions kit. This one is dimensions. I have several dimension kits, and God, I hate dimensions kits. They drive me crazy working on them, but they do turn out beautiful. It's always the changing and the, am I using 2 or 3 or 4, and am I full stitching or half stitching, but it's what makes them what they are. Right. Here we are in Abigail's stocking. This is also on my list of 20 and 20. And I think since the last time I finished up some back stitching here, I know that I have put on the scarf and the coat for this one. I may have done some more filling in. I'm not sure. But there are, once I finish, this is the one I'm working on. I only have, and you saw I've got most of the red for the coat in. I only have this one snowman and snowcap left. I'm thinking early next year maybe to finish. I mean, if I could finish it this year, that would be fantastic. Like I said, it is also on my list of 20. But we'll see. If I try too hard, I will, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta move that so I can put all this stuff into it. I have a tub to keep me organized. Not that that will work, but it's a good idea anyway. I know I told you about the driveway and the water heater. We had to have the pump we have a fancy septic system with 3 tanks, and it chlorinates and then has sprinklers to dump the water once it's been filtered and chlorinated way out into the lawn. It's not up close, it's way out. At the front of our property, kind of at the front, where we haven't cleared the trees and stuff like that. Anyway, that pump broke. We had to have that replaced. I shouldn't complain because it's worked for 18 years, but they did tell me after the price that I didn't want to pay that the newer pumps are not made as well as the older pumps, and we can only expect 5 to 7 years out of this $750 pump. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. At least the water heater didn't start dripping again until we got that fixed. The alarm on the septic kept going off, and we thought it was the aerator. I've rebuilt it twice. And then it was working, it was pumping, it was running. I took all the hoses off, and I could feel the air coming out where it was supposed to be. So we knew it wasn't that, so we had to call to replace that pump. And so there we go. Now we know in 5 to 7 years to expect to replace it again. But like I said, I can only handle one thing at a time, one emergency at a time. And fortunately, the septic people, we've been dealing with them from the beginning. We have a contract with them to quarterly check, or 3 times a year. I don't remember how many times they do it. They come check the system and add more chlorine and do all the stuff they're supposed to do. So I don't have to be here when they came out. They just come out, and unfortunately they've got my card on file. So they get to come out and just do what needs to be done. They did call and let me know how horrible it was going to be. And I had to laugh because they asked me, they said that he was out here and he had the pump, he had the parts, but he was waiting for me to tell him to go ahead. And it's like, what else would I tell you? I mean, we can't go without the septic system. It'll back up into the house, and that's not okay. So anyway, that part made me laugh, and I needed it. It was okay. I worked on Be Mine, which is, I just love this. It makes me think of the vintage Valentine's Day cards. In this one, I got it on Etsy, but I don't know if they're still on Etsy with all of the people that they blocked and stuff, but that is who it is. I'm not even, lepointdecroix.com. Make sure I'm holding it the right way. And here's where I am. I started in the middle on this one. This is on an 18 count Ada that I coffee dyed. This time I put in some of this here and then all of the red right there. When I coffee dye, I don't coffee tea dye. I know that a lot of people use both, and they cook it on the stove, and I'm lazy. I don't do any of those things. I use instant espresso because it doesn't take a lot to make it dark, if that's how I want it, and it takes a very little bit to make it kind of light colored. So I like using that. It's easy. It does the job I want it to do, so no complaints. Okay, 3 of my starts. If you're new, I'm doing a new start every week. Oh, just trying to figure out, I'm sorry. I'm just frazzled today. Dax making the water heater drip faster has got me frazzled. I told him to go in the house and don't touch anything else. 3 of my new starts are here. This is Cowgirl Country. It's a tumbleweeds, and Little House Needleworks did these. I did each one a different start. I had already started the first one. That's the second one in the series. And I'm doing something. I'm doing everything on this one very long piece of fabric that I also dyed. First I dyed it with Rit dye in sandstone, and that looked really, really orange to me, which makes sense for sandstone. It is not the color on the bottle. So I had to coffee dye it over that to kind of tone it down a little bit. And this is also 18 count fabric because I have a ton of it. So this is the cowgirl. There you go. I got her hat mostly done. And then there's a cowgirl, a horse. I hope that's not too glary for you. And a rabbit. So the horse has a border around it. As you can see, the cowgirl's over here. Hers is only a couple of stitches on each side wider than that hat. The horse has a border. That's where I started, obviously. I don't have all of the colors, and I didn't go get them all yet because it's kind of like, it'll probably be a while before I get to a place where I actually need them. This one is the one with the jackrabbit. You can see his ears, part of his ears right there. And then the other start, the fourth one out of this, is the Broken Arrow. It's on here somewhere. Oh, sorry. I didn't get a ton done on it. And all I've measured more than once. I've done the math. I even used a calculator. It should all fit. So I got the moon done. That's it. Or I guess it, yeah, I would think it's a moon. I don't know. There we go. But there we are. So I got all of those started. Those were some of my new starts. Something fun and exciting that's happened. Dax used to eat lunch he used to be in Rotary, and he met several people in Rotary, and I think it started off on Wednesdays. Now it's on Tuesday. But on Wednesdays, he used to have lunch with a number of gentlemen from Rotary. And we used to tease him a lot because we called it its own old man lunch because he's like 20 years younger than anybody else that was in the group that had lunch together. Several of them have moved away, and so now it's down to just him and one gentleman who's mid-80s, late 80s, I think. I don't think he's in his 90s yet. But they've been having lunch together almost every week for 18 years. And he had a truck that belonged to his father that he drove. Some of his kids learned how to drive in it. And as he's aging and he's been diagnosed with the onset of Alzheimer's. And so before things progressed very far, he gave Dax his truck. His kids didn't want it. Nobody was interested in having it. It's a 1950 GMC. Original paint, original miles. I mean, it's original engine. It has had some parts replaced, but It's not running. We're working on that, but now we have this big green truck, and we're honored. Don't get me wrong. We have no intention of ever selling it. We're not trying to make it a show truck. We would like to get it running and just to have it, because it meant so much to Bob, and for him to honor us just is to honor Dax. It's Dax. So we've been kind of busy with that too. We'll see. We know how I am with editing and stuff. I'll try to put a clip if I can figure it out at the end. I worked on Perfect Pumpkin by Heart and Hand, and I did not realize that apparently when I had worked on it before, this is not a new start. I was doing it 1/1 on some linen, and apparently I changed my mind because this was all that was in the bag with another piece of, and then a blank piece of fabric. So apparently I was restarting this one, and I got about as much done. Maybe I have more done. Here's where I was when I was trying to do it 1/1, and here's where I am now. So in just the short amount of time I was working on it, apparently this is much easier. Again, piece of fabric that I coffee dyed, but there you go. I didn't know I was starting it over. I was quite surprised, as a matter of fact. When is this one? April 2018. Out of this cross stitch magazine, I'm doing this Spring Hair, I think is the name of it. I really like working on this one with all the different motifs, because it feels like you're getting somewhere. This time I finished filling in this down here and then put in these 2 leaves. I believe I filled in a little bit too up here, just a few things that were missing. So like from the bottom of this white up to here, that is the full thickness of this rabbit. And this again is on an 18 count. Apparently that's my jam. I don't know. It's fabric that I dyed with red wine. Bad old red wine. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I am not a wine drinker, and I am particularly not a red wine drinker. I'm a whiskey girl. I was telling Dax the other day, I'm a chocolate snob, and it's not even, when I say chocolate snob, I don't even mean like it's got to be ultra expensive chocolate, because it doesn't. I like a really creamy milk chocolate, and that takes a lot of chocolates out of it right there. I guess I'm just snobbish about what I like. I've become a whiskey snob, I've noticed. I told him the other day, I'm working on being a coffee snob. So there you go. I worked on this summer tree. I don't remember. I never can remember if it's spring or summer. Oh my God. I must have the strongest magnets in the world on here. This is also on my list of 20 and 20. It's hard to tell when you look at it this way, since it's a pre-printed, it's a full pre-printed, the pre-printed pattern on here, and then it's a kit. There you can see from behind better where I am. But like all of this, that's all stitched, all of these, because they're in white. So I think if I pushed, I could probably get this one done. It's on my list to do. If I pushed, I might be able to. But I have other ones that, you know, Wyatt's stocking and the animal advent. If I have some time and I'm bored, or I have some time and I know I can stitch, usually I'll pick up the animal advent to try to push ahead on it, because I feel like I can get it. I have a goal. Okay. Yes, all of the 20 are a goal. I think I can meet this one. That's the difference. I worked on my Mirabilia Santa's Magic. This is a horrible picture. It's really hard to see his face and everything. I can't manage to print out a good picture, and I bought the pattern used, kitted up. It was somebody who was going to do it for themselves and I guess decided not to. And so it didn't have a picture with it, but this is where I'm at. Obviously, there's a bunch of white right in here. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to work up to the face so that Shelly can see the face. It's bothering her. I'm sure she's staying awake at night, being concerned with it. I was going to say she's key stitch, but she's not anymore. She's, it's only stitching. So, because I would do anything to make Shelly happy, I'm trying to get up to his face. There's a lot of Krynic in here that's going to have to happen before I can move up. I'm not going to do the beads till the end, but I think I will try to put in the Krynic because, like I said, there's a lot. Trying to figure out what to do next. I've got lots of piles here. I worked on Bush on a Peck. This is not on my list. My progress is stunning. There you go, Shelly. See, I read the messages. I really do. I think I finished the top of the birdhouse and then came out here. I had nothing impressive. But it is moving to the finish just slowly. That's all. Just slowly. Ooh. Top box has fallen. I worked on Summer and Chalk. This is Priscilla, and is that a hands-on design? Is that? Anyway. You can see, obviously, I was working on the white thread, but I did come and fill in a bunch of that. And I already had thread up here going. That's why I came up here, because I only have a little bit further down here at the bottom to be at the bottom of the pattern. Here's the cross stitch one. I'm like right here. If I can just do that, I'll be at the very bottom. I'd at least feel like I accomplished something, right? This is one, I think I said, did I say this last time? Maybe no. This is one I was working on, and I loved the fabric I was working on. It. Loved the color of the fabric. I hated working on this. I hated it. And I started it over. It is a, from Janlin, it's called Busy Bees. It was a free pattern. I'm assuming it still is. I haven't looked because I probably started this 5 or 6 years ago. This is on my list of 20 and 20. I had to restart it. But this is already more, and I restarted it. Like I said, I'm not sure if it was in my last video. If I was better at this, I would have gone and looked, but obviously I'm not. I'm already farther along than I was on the other one. So it is a struggle because, like, in this beehive, I already have 3 shades of yellow. And I think this was a piece of like light blue Ada that I dyed with purple on top of it. You know, kind of just scrunched it up and dyed. I am the absolute worst about making notes or recording anything, so that could absolutely be a lie, and I wouldn't know it. I worked on this Mr. and Mrs. Claus out of Christmas Casuals and Waste Canvas. It's a leisure arts booklet that Sherry Smith sent to me in a box of stuff that belonged to her mother. And I'm not doing it on waste canvas, but look how freaking cute. I mean, seriously. So Santa is, I think, I missed his mitten. That's all that Santa has left. So we'll move on to Mrs. Claus. That one's just, it's just fun every time I work on it. It really is. Other stuff we had going on. Wyatt had started working out, and then he caught a cold. I do every time. If I go start working out, I always get sick. I always catch a cold or something. Anyway, he caught a cold and was better. And then he started having these pains that basically would shoot up through his chest. And after a day of it, he got concerned. So we went to the doctor, and you know, they asked him all the questions, and his EKG came back abnormal. So Thursday, yes, this past Thursday, he had an appointment with a cardiologist, and they did another EKG. It had the same abnormality on it. But this doctor thinks that the pain was probably associated with the working out and has nothing to do with the EKG. The pain has gone away. But he goes, sometimes they haven't called yet to set his appointment to get an echocardiogram, and then he'll go back and see the doctor again. The cardiologist is thinking it's just how his is going to read, that's his normal, and he doesn't seem to be very concerned. But it has been worrisome for the week it took to get the appointment. They wanted to wait until another week, and we were kind of like, can you do it any earlier, please? Anyway, so I feel like that's good news. Once again, I can just, not everything at once, right? Not everything at once. But isn't that the way it seems to go? I worked on this Ukrainian ornament. I'm not going to tell you who designed it, because there is no way I can get that right. But it is a free pattern from good gravy. Okay. Words. www.cross-stitch-patterns.eu. There's the information on it. See, that's why I couldn't pronounce that name. I'm sure you can't read any of that. It looks very blurry to me. Anyway, there it is. This one, I've started 3 times. Oh my God, I don't even know how it goes. There we go. I think I'm done with this page. I think, let me look. Yes, I have finished the first page. Hooray. I never got past this part in the other 2 attempts to start this, to get it going. So there we are, page 1. The first page is done. When I picked this up, printed it out, chose it, whatever we want to call it. I was thinking something small. I mean, it's not like it's going to be gigantic or anything, but I mean, there's still a page here and a page here. This is going to be much larger. Here we go. Than I expected. So, anyway, let's see. Of course, they're not numbered. It's a 6-page pattern. But it'll be pretty when it's done. That's what we're going to tell ourselves. Another new start since last time I saw y'all is this Lizzie Kate called Fall Y'all. This was gifted to me from Kimberly at the Distracted Stitcher. She used to make videos. I don't think she has in a while, but I wouldn't know for sure because a lot of the videos, when people post new ones, it's not showing up for me. Hardly ever. So that makes me not happy. Anyway, that's the top of the hat. It's the crown of the hat right here. Stunning, right? You know you laughed, Shelley. You know you laughed. I'm trying to find the front of this magazine. Because when I was pulling all these things out of their bags, I didn't know I was going to need to show you anything. May, June, 86, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. This is how it looks. That wedding sampler is beautiful. But I'm not doing that. I worked on this one. These cats and quilts. This one is Nantucket. I have all 3 of these started. And I have had them marked since this magazine came out. All of the magazines. Anyway. Here's where I am. This cat is no joke. There are so many half stitches and quarter stitches, and I guess they're quarter stitches, all of them. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades at least in his face. It is slow going. One of the other ones that I've started, I've made it almost all the way across, so that gives you an idea of how slow going this one is. But I'm going to love them when they're done. Out of January 2014 celebrations to cross stitch, I am doing the White Santa. I was doing a stitch along with Colvin, and she finished hers forever ago. Here I am on mine. And obviously I'm not doing mine on the blue. I'm doing it on, this is, I'm not sure how it's coming across. It's kind of a dark burgundy color. But this time I finished up some little pieces that were missing in the hand and did this coming up. And that's this trim right here. I'm going to be all kinds of angry if I find out that his hand and that bird don't fit on here. But I think they will. I was going to say I measured it, but if you've been around for longer than 2 days, you know that that doesn't mean anything. My new start from today is this Be Kind from Stony Creek. It is part of a series. I wonder why this won't. Maybe it's looking for my face. I don't know how any of this works. Anyway, I know it's not focusing very good. It's part of the series. It's this one down here. I'm not doing the series. I just really liked this one, so I bought it. And looky there. Look how far I've gotten today. I just guessed when I was starting, because I was measured and calculated and was sure that this piece was wide enough. And so I just made sure I gave myself room over here. There's a border on this that's like 2 stitches over, but it's only like 2 stitches over. So I'm not exactly centered, but as long as it fits, I don't care. I want to keep stitching on this because I could get it finished pretty quickly. There isn't a ton left to do. The beehive is mostly the most intense stitching. I'm missing a couple of colors. I'm not going to go get them yet because there's no telling when this will come back up in my rotation. I don't know if you can call it a rotation. I spin the little decision roulette wheel, or tiny decisions, is that what they call it? I spin that to see where we're going to end up, what I'm going to work on, where we're going to end up. I spin that to see what I'm going to work on, and it probably won't come up for a while. Out of this holiday lineups by Leisure Art, I am doing just one of the turkey and one of the stalks of grain, wheat, and pumpkin. Is it grain or is it wheat? I don't know. I think one time before I called it corn. But I finished it. Hooray! Here, I don't have to worry about that fraying now, right? It's already done. I've got plenty of room to make a little pillow. So, ta-da! A finish. And then the last thing that I worked on cross-stitch wise was this, I've been calling it Christmas House. I don't know if that's actually the name of it or not. It's called Friends Welcome. So there you go. Debbie Mom didn't know what she was talking about, I guess. Because it's definitely a Christmas house. And I hope you're sitting down, because I finished it. Hooray! It was one of them that I had drawn, and I got like so much done. I was down to just the back stitch. I got all the cross stitching done, and I was like, okay, I can finish that. So there we go. Now I just need to cut it out and back it. And this was from a kit, and the kit came with that little welcome. So 2 finishes, hooray, which are the only 2 finishes I've had for July, but that's okay. I will take them. I finished both of them yesterday. So last night Dax was telling me I was a little obsessed and I might have been spending too much time out here. What does he know? So with those 2 finishes, that lets me finish July with my Stitch from Stash, $13.35 in the black. I bought some floss this month. So that makes me very happy. I counted today, and I have 110 cross-stitch whips. We're going to ignore everything else. 110. And I know that seems like a lot. It is a lot. But I'm starting a new one every week this year. And so I don't feel bad about that at all. I don't feel bad about that at all. So, and I know I, on the last one, had shown y'all this. This is from Annie's Kits Club. I think it's annieskitsclub.com. And I don't do it often where I see something and I'm just like, I have got to have that. So I signed up for this. It's a monthly kit. The first month is this part in here. And it came faster than I was ready for it to. And I guess I just yesterday, I think yesterday I got a notice that I got billed for, that my payment went through for the August one. So I'm expecting it soon. I really, really, really have been trying hard to keep up. I don't want to get behind because I would love to be able to have this finished at the end of when we're supposed to. I mean, I want to get each month done. Still, words are a little bit hard, it seems. So here is where I'm at. It's been awesome. I'm finding the directions written a little bit confusing sometimes, and I'm not blaming that on them at all. I think that's just me. So, but they have videos once you sign up where you can just follow along with the video, and they show you how to do everything. But so far, I'm loving it. That's how the colors are back here. I think I have, I think I'll finish this, and then there's another black, another blue, and another black. I think that's where I'm going to finish off on here. But it may just be another black and another blue. I don't have that much to go. And when I sit down and do it, it goes pretty quick. It's just a matter of finding the time to do it. I don't work on it every day because some days when we get home, I don't have the brain capacity, and I have this one in the house to work on. It's easier to work on this in the house. And in the mornings, when I'm out here, I want to cross stitch. So it doesn't get worked on when I'm out here. Let's see. What else? I think that's everything. Addison and Jacob are coming over tonight. The rest of them have a Big Brother marathon. I don't watch it. So they go have their Big Brother marathon while I cook dinner. And that's, I guess, the new Sunday norm. I don't know. Dax records them during the week, and then they watch them all on Sunday. So they're coming over here. She's taking our car home with her because hers is broken again. I think it was working for 2 weeks, and now it's leaking radiator fluid. So, yay, being grown up. Wyatt and Kirsten have been looking at places to move into. One of Wyatt's students, her mother and stepdad have a house that's for rent, and it's a nice house and everything. They went and looked at it. But Kirsten's kind of like, we don't have anything. We don't have any lawn maintenance equipment. I'd rather just move into an apartment. And I keep trying to tell them there is a lot to be said, especially when you're young, for living in an apartment and not having to worry about yard work on the weekends and all of those responsibilities that come with home ownership, or even just renting, where you have to maintain so much. But I'm old and dumb. I keep trying to tell them, don't underestimate the value of not having to do it right now. Just, take the time. Enjoy yourself. just let it be fun for now. But we all learn our own lessons, right? Okay, enough rambling. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, new subscribers. Thank you for your comments, for coming back. I was going to say week after week. Well, it hasn't been that way lately. Lately, it's been, thanks for coming back once a month. I really want to do better than this. I really do. I enjoy the interaction. And I know the mere fact that I don't respond doesn't show that I enjoy the interaction. But I do. I do. I almost forgot. Last weekend I went to the thrift store looking for something that they didn't have, but I still bought plenty of stuff. But look at this little tiny dough bowl. It was only $2, and they had 3 of them, and I only bought one, and now I'm kicking myself because I should have bought them all. I could have done a great giveaway. But I had some little strawberries that were already made. None of these are cross-stitched ones. They're just fabric. But how cute is this bowl for that? I mean, seriously. So, anyway, maybe I'll go back. One of the big problems is that their hours are so limited. They're not open yet. I think on Saturday they don't open until 11. I usually try if I'm going to have to go out and do anything in town, because town is here a tourist destination. So I really try to go and do whatever I need to do and get back home before generally they open. I've been by there before and it's like, ugh, they're not open yet. Just because it's a small town, and once the tourists all get awake and head into town, it's nuts trying to get around. So anyway, I should have bought more. I'll go back and check. If I find some more, maybe I'll be able to do one as a giveaway. Okay, for real, I'm done rambling. I don't have anything else here that's new. So, y'all have a great week. I will see you hopefully sooner than later, and we'll go over what's going on then. Thanks, y'all. Bye.